Oh, I'm in Iwakura. So I call this the Norcoat. It says infinity right there. It's got the infinity symbol. They look sort of like angel wings, and it says infinity. I want to make this video another healthy video. I mean, the last video I posted I think was a pretty healthy video, but I want to make this video in order to really discuss what I had been through. So I think I'm going to talk about certain things that I had been through. Essentially, I had been through one timeline, like just like a person. I've been through one timeline. Um, I I think like what happened to me was that like what had happened to me is that the timeline was sort of like I was mistaken about how the timeline works because in reality it is only a direct timeline. I call it the letter I. So it has like a line and then a point like the letter I. Um, and the point is the moment and the line is the timeline of what I had been through on what I call the float. Essentially, what I had been through was, I started out, I was just myself the whole time, and that's the most interesting part because I thought that I wasn't. But what had happened to me was that I'd become increasingly delusional due to the drugs that I was abusing or the traumatic things that I was experiencing. Um, so in 2023 or so, I lost my mind. I want to put this into like eloquent words. I lost my mind. Essentially, it was like if one of your organs malfunctioned, so you just weren't able to function. And the organ that did malfunction was my brain. My brain malfunctioned. Um, because like I'd done so much cough syrup and other drugs, or like poison that I destroyed my brain. I had like serious brain damage, let alone that I was brain dead for a long time. I thought to myself, what was I doing during this time, this entire, almost an entire year that I was brain dead? What was I doing during this time that I was brain dead? Well, during the time that I was brain dead, I was essentially like walking all over the place, walking all over, creation, walking all over the city, sometimes in the middle of the night. I would also like scream as I walked down the street sometimes. At some point, I stopped doing that, but I was still brain dead because I thought I had to stop screaming while walking down the street or like acting fucking insane. But I wasn't conscious of what I was doing. I was literally unconscious at that time because I was brain dead. So I thought to myself, what was I really doing when I was brain dead? I wasn't doing a whole lot. I was also bleeding from my organs because the cough syrup or whatever other drug I was doing caused me to have internal bleeding, and I would bleed from my organs. But that has nothing to do with the periods I experience. Like my liver, I think I had destroyed my liver with cough syrup. It does cause liver damage. That's why I was like bleeding a lot from my ass. That is what happened to me when I was brain dead. But also during the time that I was brain dead, I was raped at least twice during that time. And, I had a lot to, figure out because I didn't understand it until I got sober. And then I had to figure it out for a very long time. What had really happened to me. It took a long time to figure out what happened to me, but I did it. It only took like 2 years to figure out what really happened to me during my life. What really happened to me during the time that I've been alive. But if you look at it realistically, I didn't lose my mind in hindsight. I just gone on one single timeline that is like a letter I with a point like anyone else. So the point is the moment or the float. The timeline is what happened. That is what I think. In my case. Then in hindsight, I did not lose my mind, but then I had to think about what really happened to me if I didn't lose my mind. That's what I was able to do. But it's like, do I regret that I lost my mind? I don't think I regret it, but I don't like it. I do not think it's my fault that I lost my mind. I think it was not my fault. I didn't anticipate nor want it to happen. Of course, I did like think to myself, I never thought to myself once that I'd regret that I lost my mind. I just thought to myself, wow, this really sucks, man, because I lost my mind, man. That really sucks. But I thought to myself, it really sucks, but I don't really regret it. It's not really my fault. You know what I mean? Although, bad things did happen to me, like I told you, when I was brain dead. But I think in total, I've been raped at least 18 times, at least. I think more than that, but that's a lot of times. Then I had to process all of that. That took like a long time to process. I think it's pretty reasonable to state that it did take 2 years to process all of this. I figured it out. I figured out all of it on August 28th. On August 28th, that's the date that I figured it all out. I figured it all out on August 28th. Like I said, if you want to know more about me or if you want to know that I'm Lain Iwakura, then just look at my Twitter account. You will know by looking at my Twitter account that I am Lain Iwakura. That's my whole point with this. I mean, I guess with the videos I can talk about things, but I would like people to know that I'm Lain Iwakura. I think they ought to know.